Son of a Silverback by Russell Kane. Read by Russell Kane. Thanks to the poet Maggie Butt and novelist Sue G for taking a punt. Thanks to Mum for waving me on. Thanks to Lindsay for keeping me upright. And thanks to Dad for all the material that follows. You miserable bastard. Love. Forward by primatologist R.D. Agreno. The western lowland gorilla is the biggest of all the great apes. This meaty, knuckle-walking, bipedal primate gives the nimble chimp a run for its money as the most famous ape. If you could choose to observe only one in the wild, be honest, would you choose cheetah or King Kong? Of course, to actually see one, you must travel to Central Africa. Yes, contrary to popular belief and recent sightings, these creatures don't nest in Romford, Newcastle or Cardiff. The 200-kilogram males, in particular, are astounding creatures, moving in slow motion through the fetid swamps and forests, like a steroided man from The Only Way is Essex, going to the bar for a lit sambuca. Gorillas dress to impress too, coarse, jet-black fur, and once they reach adulthood, the distinctive silverback. What is more unusual, however, is the lack of other males in the group. Most species in the primate order have multiple man-monkeys and apes in their groups. Chimps and bonobos have a chaotic mix of man-slag challengers, Garys, Terrys and Kevins, all of them fighting to be leaders for the shagging rights with the high-ranking Tinas, Donnas and Kellys, most of whom are opportunistic floozies when their chosen fella isn't keeping tabs. Not so with gorillas. No slappers. Don't get me wrong, you do occasionally find the odd gorilla troop with more than one adult male, but it's rare. You might observe a few adolescent black-backed males flanking the double-hard leader for protection. But once their post-adolescent fur starts silvering, they're expected to sod off from their natal group and earn their own fucking living. The dominant male gorilla is not a bad being. He's not evil. He's not even that violent. He's just a big, scary silverback who likes to be in charge, and whatever he says goes. I'm paying, I'm saying. He decides where they live, what they eat, what they do, when they sleep, play and talk. When it comes to making up a troop, girls and adult females are usually welcome. But if you're a boy, you've got about 12 years before you need to get out of his way, and no amount of fur grooming or arse-kissing will help you. You'll never be the silverback. You're on your own. Good luck, boy, said the dad. Prologue. Footnote, or as my mate Warren said as he unblocked the toilet when we were in Butlins, now that's a prologue. My dad, Dave, the steroid-using doorman, lifeguard, sheet metal worker, builder and bodybuilder from Barking in Essex, clutched his chest and dropped down dead in September 2003. For me, that was the moment I went from child to man. It shook up everything. It was the day I began my big boy life. Maybe I'd never really left my Moses basket. Certainly my old man's sudden death was my Red Sea moment. Scary, waves crashing, but somehow I just walked through. It was the crazy, miserable old bastard's final act in the making of me. That's why it belongs before my beginnings. The beginnings in a minute, keep reading. He wasn't old, my old man. It turned out the most powerful muscle in his 15-stone, still-ripped, weight-lifting body was his neck. His ability to thrust it into the ground meant he ignored the warning pains in his chest, the breathlessness, his body's hints to see a cardiologist. Those of you reading, who are also members of the Sudden Death Parent Club, will remember that plummeting feeling of finding out. It's a bonding experience when you meet someone else who's gone through it. So much so that when in 2006 I began chatting to a girl online about it, we thought it only proper to immediately start grief shagging and then get married and divorced within 6 months. It turned out trauma sex was an awful foundation for long-term love, but it goes to show the power of parental loss in bringing strangers together. The unexpected international phone call, the inside-out adrenaline drop, like stepping into a lift shaft and realising too late there's no lift in there. Just a dark, brutal descent. Boom. Right in the guts. No one would wish any sort of slow terminal...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?